Okay, very good morning, students. Now, in the part 2 of chapter number 5th, that is poverty, we are going to do today the two topics, that is in the nature of poverty, absolute poverty, and the relative poverty. Now the very first in the absolute poverty is nothing but you can see on your screen, like the concept of absolute poverty help us to categorize the people living below the poverty line and reduce poverty. Among these target oriented policies can be framed out with the help of this. Now over here, absolute poverty itself called as a pure poverty or the complete poverty, you can term it as, fine. Now over here, whatever the concepts are shown in the poverty is ultimately our absolute poverty is. Okay, now whenever the person is there, a minimum expenditure or income the person required to satisfy their minimum basic needs and services, that what actually we called as a poverty line. Now the population, okay, now having the income or expenditure below that poverty line, they are termed as the absolutely poorer one. Okay, so absolute poverty is also termed as pure and complete poverty, that what we have seen. Thereafter, the person's minimum requirement is what we have already discussed further also, that is food, clothing and shelter, that what the minimum requirement is. Now, as and when the person is not able to satisfy his minimum requirement, or we can term this as like his income is below than that, okay, that is termed as the absolute poorer one. Now, this absolute poverty concepts help us for what purpose? To categorize the people, those who are living below the poverty line, and to reduce that poverty. Okay, to reduce such type of poverty, as this is absolute poverty, help us to categorize. Now, to reduce the poverty, the policies can be framed out with the help of this. Okay, so under this there are three professors who have determined this according to the absolute poverty one. Okay, so we'll discuss with that also. Now thereafter, you can see the poverty line definition over here, that minimum consumption expenditures required to fulfill the minimum physical amount of cereals, pulses, milk, butter, and etc. Okay, that is what a poverty line is. Okay, the minimum consumption expenditures which is quite required for a human being, okay, for a person's to take, but his or her income is such that cannot able to fulfill that basic requirements too, as and when they are coming under the poverty line. So this is the very first. Thereafter, over here you can see according to the ICMR, students, this ICMR full form is quite important, so you need to be learn out that Indian Council of Medical Research. Now, in the initial planning years of this ICMR, the minimum per capita consumption expenditure is given to you, that is per day consumption expenditure, that is in the rural areas and in the urban areas. That very first you can see, that is in the rural areas 2400 calories per person per day, and the urban areas 2100 calories persons per day. Over here you can see the base is given, that in rupees 20 was decided for measuring poverty line by the Planning Commission in the year 1969, as and when rupees 20 per capita per month it was decided, as and when those who are attaining below this, they are coming under the poverty line, and above this, so they are coming under the above poverty line. So this is the rupees 20 is considered as the base year. Okay, base year prices which is quite fixed, rupees 20 for measuring what? For measuring the rod of the poverty. So this is the concept what is mentioned in the absolute poverty. Now more concepts are there according to the Professor Dandekar also, so we'll go with that. Now students, you can see over here like Professor Dandekar and Rath were also the member of the Indian Council of the Medical Research. Now they have decided for measuring the poverty, that is in the year on the basis of what 1960-61, as per the decided for rural areas it must be 15 rupees per capita per month, and urban areas this is 22.50 per capita per month. It was decided by the Dandekar and Rath, was the member of ICMR. Now thereafter Professor D.T. Lakdawala also decided, that is under the chairmanship of Professor D.T. Lakdawala, the poverty was estimated, that is per capita per month in rural areas is 49 and in urban areas is 57 rupees per capita per month, to fulfill what? To fulfill the requirement for the above poverty line. And if those who are attaining less than this, then they are coming under the below poverty line. Thereafter, students, you need to be remembered this both letter in as according to the Dandekar and Rath, also according to the Professor D.T. Lakdawala also, that 49 and 57. Thereafter, Professor Suresh Chandukar submitted his report to the government to redefine the measuring rod of poverty in the year 2009. That the concepts that Professor Suresh Chandukar mentioned out is that the new method for measuring poverty now includes what? Expenditure on education also and health also, along with the minimum calorie consumption expenditure. So now according to the Professor Suresh Tendulkar, they mention out that related to the expenditure must be there on the education and health too, as and when with the calorie consumption, that what we are actually calculating. Now, as per this new method in the year 2011-12, the per capita monthly consumption expenditures for rural areas was 816 rupees, and for urban areas was 1000 rupees was decided as the poverty line. Now, they are attaining below this, then coming under the below poverty line, and above this, then they are coming under the above poverty line. So, this is what the three professors speaks up related to this. As and when you need to remember the data over here, that according to the Dandekar and Rath, what is according to the Professor D.T. Lakdawala, what the rupees is decided, according to the Professor Suresh Chandukar, not only the calorie consumption expenditure, but with that education and health also must be given utmost importance, and that also must be calculated. So in the year 2011-12, it is decided as per rural areas it must be 816 rupees. It is there per month, and for the urban areas it is 1000 rupees was decided. Now students, over here you can see the measurement of the absolute poverty in the India. Now it is the survey of the year 2015-16 that you can able to see in the on the screens. That is according to the NSSO, that is nothing but a National Sample Survey Organization. Now, in the year 2004-5, the measurement of absolute poverty was 37.2, now which reduced to 21.9 percentage in the year 2011 and 12. It's overall, now you can see that the rural areas of 41.8, and as 2011-12 it decreased to 25.7, as and when in urban areas you can see it is 25.7. now it decreased to 13.7% of the absolute poverty we are talking about. Now what is absolute? That also what we have seen, the population having income or expenditure what they are doing below the poverty line, that are said to be as a absolutely poorer one. Now those who are you can see day by day gradually it is quite decreasing. In the year 2004-5 it is 41.8, it is now 25%, and thereafter urban areas 25.7, now it is 13.7 percentage. So it is quite reduced in the percentage according to the survey of 2015-16. So this is a measurement also you can need to show whenever you are writing this answer related to the absolute poverty, whether it may be asked for your 5 marks also. The measurement of this absolute poverty need to be shown whenever you are writing it. Now the next thing that what you need to remember, that is the state-wise magnitude of the poverty in India. Now according to the Planning Commission 2011 and 12, the state-wise magnitude of poverty that is shown in this table, that is below 10%. You can see the states like Goa is there, Kerala, Himachal Pradesh, Sikkim, Punjab, Andhra Pradesh. Thereafter in 10 to 20% of the poverty you can see in the Jammu Kashmir, Haryana, Tamil Nadu, Gujarat, Rajasthan, Maharashtra, Tripura, Nagaland and Meghalaya. Likewise, from 20 to 30%, it is just 4 states, that is West Bengal, Mizoram, Karnataka, Uttar Pradesh. Thereafter 30 to 40% you can see like Madhya Pradesh, Assam, Odisha, Bihar, Arunachal Pradesh, Manipur, Jharkhand and Chhattisgarh. Now most probably in these two things you need to be for your 1 mark, that is that can become like Goa has the lowest poverty. Okay, you can see the Goa, it is there in the below 10%, that is Goa is having the lowest poverty, that is of 5.09% only, and the highest poverty it is there in the Chhattisgarh. Okay, that can be shown to you, that is the 30 to 40 percentage, that is the 39.93%. These two things can be asked whether maybe in the 1 mark for your very short answer question or either for the MCQ. So both the things, Goa the lowest poverty you can find it out, and the Chhattisgarh the highest one among all the states. So this is also you need to be shown out whenever it is asked for your 5 marks question. Okay, so the state wise magnitude of the poverty in India below 10%, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40. Accordingly you need to prepare and learn for the states also, which are the states which are coming below the 10% or 10 to 20, or either for 20 to 30 and 30 to 40. So this is the what the absolute poverty is, what we have seen right now. Now we'll go with the concept of the relative poverty. Okay student, this is the relative poverty concepts. Now in the absolute poverty, that what we have seen is the minimum consumption expenditures to satisfy the human needs. Now in this relative poverty we are going to see that is the income inequality that exists in the different groups of the people that are quite living in the society. Okay, now most probably this unequal distribution of income, that is the income inequality, because of that only we can see that is many part of the society, like few part of the society get the high income as compared of the poorer peoples. Now in every economy, if you can see, there is an income disparity we can able to see. Now in this relative poverty also we are going to learn the same thing, that is the relative poverty exhibits the level of income inequality among the different class of the people living in a society. Now this, to study relative poverty, society is divided into different income groups and unequal distribution of this income is studied out according to their incomes. Now commonly in every economies, income disparity is seen, that case lower income class is considered relatively poorer one as compared to that of the higher income class. So accordingly the groups example you can able to write, or the family example you can able to write it out, and out of that, from that the income disparity what actually is and which one is lower as compared to the another one, that can be considered as a relatively poorer and then the higher income class groups. Now it is argued in the context of India that has a rapid developing economy, instead of studying the concept of poverty and poverty line, relative poverty or unequal distribution of income should be considered most. Okay, whenever it talks about the developing economy, rapid developing economy, so instead of studying only the poverty and about the poverty line or minimum consumption of expenditure and income, there must be considered the unequal distribution of the income, that income inequality. Okay, so it must be considered whenever it talks about developing economy. Now let us teach students one of the hypothetical example. Now in this example, the concept of relative poverty can be studied with the help of a hypothetical example that is given to you. That is, for example, a nation population is divided on the basis of every 5 income groups. Now you can see the very first in the adjacent example, the class in the group 2 has more income than the class income of people in group 1. Likewise, you can see over here the group is there and the income group is there. First group is having 0 to 30,000 income, second group 30 to 1 lakh, group 3 1 lakh to 3 lakh, group 4 3 lakh to 10 lakh, and thereafter group 5 you can see 10 lakh and above. Now over here if we compare the group 2, then group 2 is earning more as compared to that of the group 1. So over here group 1 is a relatively poorer one as compared to that of the group 2. So here it is written the same. It can be said that people in group 1 are relatively poor than group 2. As and when we compare the group 2 with the group 3, 4 and 5, then you can term it as group 2 is relatively poorer one as compared to that of the 3, 4 and 5. Now accordingly you will compare the another 3, 4th and 5th with the rest of the one. Now to measure the relative poverty or the income inequality, generally what the formation of income group, that is the Lorentz curve and Gini coefficient, are quite useful whenever measuring the relative poverty. Now this both the thing like if we say Lorentz curve if we talked about, like Lorentz curve is nothing but the graphical presentation is there of the distribution of income, that is what group 1 group 2 you can see on the screen. Now it is used for what, for measuring the income inequality or this relative poverty, that is the Lorentz curve. Now whenever we talked about the Gini coefficient, that is nothing also the same, like statistical measure is there of the degree of the variation represented in the set value used in analyzing the income inequality. Now here also statistical measurement is done. Now its value is between the 0 to 1 whenever the Gini coefficient, with the use of Gini coefficient, it is measured out. Now here also the income inequality, that is the relative poverty, can be measured with the help of Gini coefficient. And another one that what we have seen, Lorentz curve, that is a graphical presentation of the distribution of income. So this both the things are also important whenever this relative poverty, if we say to measure out that, then Gini coefficient and Lorentz curve. So for 1 mark also this is quite important, that is to measure out the relative poverty or income inequality. Which formation of income group is used, that is a Lorentz curve and Gini coefficient are quite useful. So that can be asked for your 1 mark question. Okay students, so this is the two concepts what we have seen today, the absolute poverty and the relative poverty. Both the concepts are quite important, that is come under the question of nature of poverty. Fine. Now thereafter we'll go with another topic, that is the indicators of poverty in our part 3.